All right, Big Ten regular season just wrapped up. We'll talk about the actual games of the day, but we're gonna go ahead and do the Big Ten tournament predictions. I mean, right now it's kind of like they haven't officially released the bracket, so I'm just kind of going off the ESPN standings, which I would assume is going to be the tournament bracket. I would be remiss if it wasn't, but you can see it right up there. So we're going to start with our first game. Number 12 Northwestern against a plummeting, falling off a cliff Minnesota team. I don't have faith in either of these teams. Both of these teams are probably going to lose to Ohio State in the next round regardless, but Minnesota is just on such an incredible crash and burn course that I have to give it to Northwestern.
Actually, for the Big Ten tournament bracket, looks like they just announced it like a half hour ago. I found on Big Ten's website.
Is it the same thing that we have?
I'm assuming so, because you said Minnesota and Northwestern, right?
Yes, number 12 and 13.
Yep, Minnesota's at 13, Northwestern at 12. That'll be. Oh, it has actual game times too.
Oh, nice. But
okay.
Yeah. Minnesota's not, like I said, Minnesota's on such a spectacular crash and burn course that I have to take Northwestern.
I mean, I know Minnesota's been bad, but now that the Big Ten tournament's coming around, I mean, Northwestern's even Northwestern was good at the beginning of the year, and they fell off a cliff. So I think this will be winner will play the Buckeyes. So I think this is going to be a really fun game to watch. These two are going to be in a neck-and-neck war, but I'm going to go with the Golden Gophers to come out by a slight edge.
So Mitch is going to take the Golden Gophers on his bracket, and I am going to take the Wildcats on my bracket. I don't think it really matters, though, because they're both probably going to lose anyway. Now moving on to the bottom of the first round, number 11 Penn State versus number 14 Nebraska. I wonder who we're going to pick. I don't have much faith in Penn State, but I have more faith in them than I have in Nebraska.
They both suck, and I think the one time one of the times I think Nebraska did end up actually beating Penn State and gave them their first Big Ten win. So, yeah, that was not good by the Nittany Lions. But like you said, as bad as Penn State is, Nebraska's worse.
Yeah, give me Penn State. Easy. All right, move on to the next game in the bracket. Number 8.
Laughing at my pick.
Number 8 Maryland versus number 9 Michigan State. I have loved the resiliency I've seen from Michigan State. They've looked really good. Obviously, just beating Michigan, but honestly, I don't think I can take them in a game over Maryland, especially considering Maryland a week ago blew them out by 20. I think Michigan State's on a great roll, and if they can get going, they'll win this game. But they could just have a horrendous shooting night. If they can't shoot the 3, they're not going to have anything. You're not going to get 23 points out of whatever that guy was who scored 30 points for Michigan State yesterday. You're not going to get that. Rocket Waddle or whatever. You're not going to get that out of him.
Rocket Watts, but yeah.
Rocket Watts. You're not going to get that out of every game. And I think Maryland's just been on such an impressive streak lately. I'm just going to give the edge. I'm going to give the slight edge to Maryland.
The one thing that, honestly, in that Michigan State game, Wolverines gave no effort again. So, yeah, very disconcerting for us Wolverine fans. We're seeing no effort out of the Wolverines now. That is terrifying, especially coming close to NCAA tournament time. But in any case, Spartans have looked so much better since that ugly start to the year. And Maryland's the exact same thing. I mean, both of these teams literally – since the beginning of the year, have looked miles better than before.
Yeah.
And it's hard to pick between either one of them. I mean, yeah, the one time that Maryland played Michigan State, they actually blew them out of the water. I rather doubt that's going to happen again.
No, I don't think it's going to happen again, but I don't think it's going to happen again. But
And it's very, like I said, it's very hard to choose. I don't want to sound like I'm going against the Spartans, but I am. I'm going with the Terrapins. Very close game. Very fun game to watch.
Two surging teams.
Yeah, exactly. I think it'll be close all the way through. Obviously, if Michigan State wins, they'll have the chance to play us again. Not looking forward to 3 straight games against the Spartans. I, quite frankly, don't want to play the Spartans 3 times in a row. But I think this will be a very fun game. I think it can go either way. But if I had to choose one, I'd go with the Terrapin.
Yep. Ohio State, Northwestern. I don't think it's
Well,
going to be.
for you.
I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be the same show that happened earlier in the year. I think Ohio State is ready. He's playing a lot better. Has a lot more confidence. Give me the Buckeyes in this one.
And for me, it will be Minnesota because I did not pick Northwestern.
Oh yeah, and for him, it's going to be Ohio State versus Minnesota. Who do you got in this one?
For me, I mean Minnesota again. They fell off a entire cliff at the end of the year. They almost pulled off the win against Rutgers.
They fell off like 3 cliffs. What are you talking about?
They fell in overtime to the Scarlet Knights, but as much as I want to pick Minnesota to win it because I kind of want to see them in the tournament, they're not beating Ohio State. They'll play hard. I'm sure they will. They're not Michigan. They're going to try, but I think the Buckeyes, they just have more talent. As sad as that is to say, I think they're a better team, and they'll come out victorious in the end.
Mm-hmm. Moving on to the next game, number 7 Rutgers against number 10 Indiana. You've got the battle of the team that's trying to hold on to a tournament spot against the team that if they lose, they're done. And as much as I'd love to go with the underdog, I just think Rutgers outmatches them, outplays them, and gets the victory here. Close one though, because Indiana is going to fight for their lives. Their season depends on it.
For Indiana, I think they're essentially pretty much out of the tournament. I mean, they're below 500 for the regular season.
I'm just saying, yeah. I'm saying unless they win the Big Ten tournament is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but for me, I gotta go with Indiana here. I like Rutgers. Rutgers is a decent team. Don't get me wrong; these guys are very good, but they have struggled mightily at many different times in different games shooting the 3 ball, and it's cost them games. Indiana, they're a tournament team. They haven't really played like it. They've blown a lot of games, but they have tournament talent. Tracy Jackson Davis is very good. He's good defensively. He's good offensively. Indiana's got the pieces. I think they'll beat Rutgers. I don't know about the next game.
Yeah. And then
I'll pick them to upset the Scarlet Knights here, which will be Game 5.
Mm-hmm. And move on to our next game, Wisconsin at Penn State. I'm gonna be crazy here. Penn State's one of those teams that can just sneak up on you. Wisconsin hasn't had the greatest end of the year. I think the Nittany Lions come in and pull off a shocking upset before March Madness gets going. Don't hold me to that opinion, but I think they have a really good shot at upsetting this game. I don't know if it will happen, but I think it has a pretty decent chance of happening just because Penn State's a sneaky team.
Well, for me, it also will be Penn State versus.
Oh, I thought you were saying you were going to pick Penn State.
Yeah, I was saying the game will also be Penn State versus Wisconsin, but I mean, I don't completely disagree with the idea of Penn State upsetting Wisconsin.
It's not likely.
Can happen. I just don't necessarily think it will.
It's not a very likely thing.
I'm not a fan of the Badgers, honestly. They're not as good as people make them out to be. They definitely could get upset. I just don't think Penn State is the team to do it. So let's go with the Badgers because they are just a little bit better than Penn State. Yeah, Penn State pulls off an upset every here and there, but I don't think it's this one. I go with the Badgers getting this one.
Yep.
Close game.
That it will be. Moving on to the next game, Michigan taking on Maryland. Obviously, has happened twice before. Maryland did not play well in either of the two, but this is definitely a different Maryland team that's trending upwards and a Michigan team that's trending downwards. efforts. They're not like crashing and burning, but they have not given very much effort the past couple games. So it's going to be very interesting to watch, see if Michigan continues kind of get back into the swing of things. And the biggest key to me is Eli Brooks' health at this point. Eli Brooks,
he'll be coming back for a while.
He couldn't even put pressure on his foot. So as soon as I saw him getting carried off the court, I knew it was not good. So Eli Brooks' health is going to be huge. I do think Michigan just is such a higher advantage with just the talent that I think it's enough to get them past Maryland.
Well, if Michigan does what they did today, they will lose, and it'll be a blowout. If they actually give full effort, I think they should win decently comfortably. But that's the big thing. If they don't give effort, they will lose by at least 20. And there's no doubt in my mind that they will lose by 20. They have to give effort. I mean, it really is that simple. You're coming closer to the end of the year. This is when the teams that are really trying to build up resumes, like Maryland even, they should be in, but that's the point. They should be in. They're not exactly a lock yet. They're looking to get that resume.
Big win.
That big win to basically cement their spot in the tournament. This would be the one. And if Michigan does not come out ready and they come out sloppy, they will get themselves grounded by the Terrapins. But because Michigan has obviously the better talent, if they just give effort and actually try to win a game, they'll win.
They'll have to be able to rebound, and they played with such heart all year long. But now that they've been consistently good for so long,
they're just getting cocky.
They're getting cocky. They're getting flat. They're not giving as much effort. I really hope that Michigan State game humbled them. I really hope it did, or else it's going to be a long...
Well, we figured that the Illinois game would. That didn't humble them at all.
It humbled them for one game.
Yeah.
I think we would have beaten Michigan State if we had Eli Brooks in. That's just how bad Michigan State played, though. Michigan State didn't really play much better. We just played worse.
They're not good.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Purdue, Ohio State. We both have Purdue and Ohio State going. Honestly, I like Purdue. I like how they've played, but I'm going to give this one, I think, to talent. I think I'm going to give this one in a slight edge to Ohio State. I think they're going to outscore them. And it's going to be a shootout, obviously, because Ohio State does not have any defense at all. But I think Ohio State... Yeah, neither does Purdue. I know. I think Ohio State's going to get the slight edge, setting up another Michigan-Ohio State matchup in the semifinals.
Yeah, this will be a unique game to watch because Purdue, they were another team. They're really essentially kind of like a Maryland or Michigan State. They had a very slow start to the year, and it took them a while for them to finally catch on. And, well, they caught on a lot more than Michigan State or Maryland, as they've been absolutely on a tear. But I like the Boilermakers. They're very good. They have Zach Edey. I like Zach Edey. They have that freshman, Jaden Ivey, right?
I think so.
Or something like that. I think it's probably close enough. But I like Purdue's players. They got a lot of young pieces. And they got Travion Williams. I love Travion Williams. He can really play. I think Purdue has a shot at being the Buckeyes. I just don't think they'll be just able to pull it off. It'll be a very fun game. It'll be very close, but Buckeyes will get the slight edge. They just have a little more talent. I'll give it to the Buckeyes, and it will be a very, very fun game to watch. I mean, honestly, Big 10, Big 12 are going to be the best tournaments probably this year.
By far.
So,
easily.
Pretty much all of these are going to be really close.
Yeah. For me, it's going to be Illinois against Rutgers. Again, Rutgers not 100% locked, but it should be in. I don't think their heart is enough to beat Illinois. Desumu's back, and he's playing well. Obviously, Kofi Coburn is literally a beast. I don't think there's anyone on Rutgers that can stop him, and I think Illinois wins this one pretty comfortably. And then for you, it's going to be Illinois, Indiana. I would still assume it's going to be a very similar outcome.
Yeah, but fun fact about Rutgers, they had put themselves in a little bit of a tournament peril when they decided to lose by 21 to Nebraska.
Oh,
Yeah, that happened.
goodness.
And then they decided to beat Minnesota in overtime by 7. So that helped out their resume. But Rutgers, you lost by 21 to Nebraska? Come on, guys.
I might be rethinking my Rutgers
More of
pick.
why I probably picked Indiana to beat Rutgers.
Yeah, but Indiana hasn't looked much better.
Oh, Indiana's looked a little better than Rutgers. Anyways, Illinois and Indiana. I love the Hoosiers team. Tracy Jackson Davis is very good. They should be a tournament team, but they haven't played like it. They have the talent to be a tournament team. They have not played like it. And against Illinois, when you're not playing like you're supposed to be and you're underperforming, you're gonna get killed. And that's exactly what's gonna happen in this game. Ayo Dosunmu's been going off. Kofi Coburn is just,
He's
an
Kofi
animal.
Coburn. You can't stop him.
Animal. There is no defense for Kofi Coburn. Ayo Dosunmu is just a freak of nature. Illinois is looking more and more devastating every minute. Give me the Illini by a landslide.
Yeah. And then for you, it's going to be Iowa, Wisconsin.
Yeah, and actually a decent game today. Apparently it was a little bit, I heard there was like controversy at the end. I wasn't really watching it.
Everybody says that about every game.
Well, it's a Big Ten. You're going to see controversy in every game. The
Big Ten refs are something else.
They're bad. They're really bad. Like the Indiana Purdue game on Saturday, that was bad. Day was bad. Yeah, they need new Big Ten refs. But Iowa and Wisconsin, it was a decent game today. Guessing that it'll be another game for Iowa against Wisconsin. The Hawkeyes are better. I'm going with the Hawkeyes. I think I don't really see how they drop this one. Iowa's they're uberly talented. Very good offense, obviously. They tend to outscore people. They're going to outscore Wisconsin today. Yes, the Badgers are good. Not as good enough. Good enough to beat Iowa. I'll give it to the Hawkeyes, and which will be a fun Illinois-Iowa matchup.
And now for me, Iowa and Penn State. Penn State's upset train does not keep on rolling. Iowa easily takes this one. Iowa takes this one pretty easily. Now we move on to the semifinals. Michigan, Ohio State for both of us. They're going to have to show a crap ton of effort. That's the biggest thing. They've shown they can beat Ohio State. They're going to have to definitely not let Dwayne Washington score 30 points again. Unless you want us Michigan fans to be sweating it again for the entire game. But I think, again, Michigan just plays well better as a team. Obviously, you have the big two in E.J. Liddell and Dwayne Washington that are really, really good, high points per game scorers. But I think if Michigan does show the effort, they'll be enough to get into the championship game. They've already proven to me that they can beat the Buckeyes. And I think they do it again very closely yet again. And Ohio State makes some stupid turnover late in the game again.
I mean, I wouldn't honestly. I'm sure if I wasn't a Michigan fan, I would be picking against the Wolverines for this one. I don't have confidence in Michigan to win, and as sad as that is to say, that their efforts just not there. They're way out of sync offensively. They have not looked like the same team ever since that Illinois game. I didn't really see much of Michigan's game at home against the Spartans, but
they actually looked pretty. Actually, I can't say that. They still looked pretty garbage. Michigan State just looked way worse. The biggest key to Michigan's victory, the two biggest keys. Hunter Dickinson's going to do his thing. That's just that. The two biggest keys. Franz Wagner. How is he going to play? If he plays terribly, we're going to lose. When he plays really well, we win. And Isaiah Livers. Isaiah Livers has been almost a non-factor the past 3 games that I've watched. I forgot he was on our team after he's just been so dominant. But if those two guys are going, I don't think there's a team in the country that can beat Michigan. But they're not always going, and they're not always showing effort. So that's the biggest thing they need to show effort. So what's your official pick then? Are you taking the Buckeyes in the upset?
I think, I mean, like you said, if Michigan gives effort, I think they'll win. Ohio State is going to give Michigan anything and everything they can,
They're
and
gonna have to play
I don't
really
have.
well.
I sadly just don't have faith in Michigan to win. Coming from a Michigan fan, that's hard. You're not going to see a Michigan fan pick
Pick
Ohio
Ohio
State
State.
very often, so.
That shows you how little faith we have right now. I think they'll pull it together. I don't think. I guess that's a spoiler. I think they'll pull it together and win very closely. But if they don't, if they even show the slightest bit of cracks, they're done. And then Illinois, Iowa is for both of us. So go ahead with your Illinois, Iowa pick.
Yeah, for this game, I think it'll be a little bit better than Michigan and Ohio State. Because, like I said, Michigan, they just, to their lack of effort, they keep getting themselves out of sync, which is ruining their team chemistry. It's ruining their role. It's not good when you just completely take a game off, and that's what they keep doing. But in any case, Illinois and Iowa, this is going to be all-out war. Expect an offensive shootout. This could be like 100 points to 90. I could totally expect that. I know Kofi Coburn's very good, but Luka Garza is going to be Luka Garza. He's going to score a bunch of points. This is going to be a lot of fun. And I'm going to give this one to the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Oh.
I like Iowa to win this one. Illinois has been playing very good, but Iowa just, their offense is so potent. And as much as I like Illinois, and I think that, well, I mean, I like their team. I don't really necessarily like the Illini, but I think Iowa will pull it off. They're looking for that number 1 seed, and Illinois is a perfect team to.
That's the team that's in front of them.
Seed. And that's what they're fighting for the number 1 seed. So I think Iowa just barely takes it. Like I said, something up in the 90s, possibly even 100s, maybe a little lower than that. Maybe I'm kind of exaggerating, but I think for sure the 90s. It's going to be very high scoring. Definitely one to watch.
And we have completely.
I'll take Iowa to head to the tournament championship.
And we have completely different tournament championships. I'm going to give this one. It's going to be very close, but I am going to give it to Illinois. Ever since that loss to Michigan State, they have just been on a roll. Kofi Coburn has been insane. Dosunmu comes back, and he's playing out of his mind as well. I just think this Illinois team just has a little bit more than Iowa does. Obviously, Garza is going to be the big factor. Are they going to be able to stop Garza? Obviously, Illinois won the one. I don't know if they played twice. I know I looked it up. They only played once, and I believe Illinois took it at home.
Yeah, it was only in Champaign, but
yeah.
Illinois.
I'm gonna give the slight edge to Illinois, and then the championship game. Michigan escapes Ohio State very closely. Does not escape Illinois. I pick Illinois to be my Big Ten champions. I don't think Michigan has it in them. I think Michigan has the talent to beat them. Hunter Dickinson will have to play out of his mind. They'd have to get Kofi Coburn into foul trouble really early, and Dickinson would have to stay out of foul trouble. But I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think they have the role right now. I think I'm going to take Illinois over Michigan in my Big Ten championship, and then you've got Iowa, Ohio State.
And this is where I think the Hawkeyes pull off what will be an interesting win. I think they'll win by about 10 or more against Ohio State. I like the Hawkeyes team. They're very good offensively, and I think the Big Ten tournament is where they're going to show what they really can do. Blow out Wisconsin, beat a surging Illinois team, and surging Illinois sounds weird because they're already very good, but they keep getting better. And then I think they'll beat Ohio State pretty comfortably, and they'll become the Big Ten champions. So, for once, me and Zerbensky weren't exactly on the same page for the entire thing.
The biggest thing is, and I can honestly see your route going down, as I'm sure you can see my route going down. I can see Michigan, Ohio State going either way, and I can see Illinois, Iowa going either way. Honestly, if I had Iowa, Ohio State, though, I would probably take Iowa over Ohio State. Regardless, I think it's just kind of we both see both sides. I think those semifinals could go either way. I think pretty much up to that is determined. I do think those are going to be the 4 teams, with I think exception to maybe Purdue beating Ohio State. But I think those are going to be the semifinal teams. I'm very confident in that. The championship, it could be any of those 4 teams. Just depends on different factors. But that's it. We're going to move on to some other tournaments. But that's it for the Big Ten. So we'll see y'all later. Peace.
Later.